public forum, I'd like to call Karen X to the dais. Please, welcome. Good evening.
Good evening, and thank you for recognizing me. I don't know if I'm wrong about this, so I think it may be a question for the attorney, but is part of why the meetings are public to inform the public? Is that part of why meetings are, like board meetings, are open to us? Are we here also to be informed? I think the question goes to the attorney. Am I right about that? Is that part of why they're
Not
open?
necessarily. The village board conducts the business of the village. Under Illinois law, those meetings are open to the public for the public to view the meetings.
Okay.
But it's for the board to conduct its business. It's not for the public to be informed or not informed. It is for the village board to conduct the business of the village. By law, they're open so that the public can view and observe the village conducting its business.
But isn't it sort of implied also understand what, I mean, isn't that sort of implied?
There are many things that are
Yeah,
implied
right.
within that.
Because I just want to appreciate, there was an interaction this evening that was really helpful, and I just want to acknowledge and appreciate. There was a moment when Trustee Patel was explaining about TIFs, which a lot of us, we don't know about that. And I think it was Trustee Nickel had a problem with a public learning opportunity there. And I just want to say, as a member of the public, I hope there's a lot of those, because it's great to know what you're talking about, and it's great when you take us into account and you explain it in a way. So thank you for that. And I hope that happens a lot more. So thank you. And Mayor, I wanted to ask you, if you can, everybody has their style. It would be really great if, what I noticed was that Trustee Sugarman tried on at least 2 occasions this evening to speak, but there are other members of the board who don't wait for you to acknowledge them. So he was waiting, and then you didn't see him. And so it's kind of hard.
Everyone has an off night.
No. I'm not on you about that. What I'm suggesting is there was a moment when Trustee Spino didn't vote, and people thought she voted. If there could be some kind of discussion amongst you about people waiting to be acknowledged by you, then everybody would get a chance to speak when they want to, and not have to have other, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
When they're all talking at once, it's very difficult.
point.
And hopefully, if you take a little more control of that, it would be really great for the process.
Great.
Thank you. And you're not having an off night, are you?
I am.
Mr. Mayor, I have a comment.
I don't think you are.
Thank you.
You know,
Thank you.
I have a comment.
Go ahead.
How unusual.
Trustee Nicole. I heard you, so
My-
I'm acknowledging you.
My response, and I really don't need to say this, but it was not intended to squash transparency.
Trustee,
Excuse
why are
me,
you-
I did not interrupt you. So I would
Are we gonna
appreciate
do
the
this?
same
Okay.
courtesy.
Go right
You know,
ahead.
you have come up here meeting after meeting after meeting and looked and scrounged for something to criticize me. It's clear that you don't like me. That's fine. So I'm glad, you seem to be able to find material to come up and criticize, but the truth is, you take so many things out of context, and that is not my intent. My remarks were completely and very focused, laser focused to Trustee Patel, because I was getting a tutorial on something that I already knew. So if you interpret it that way, I apologize. That was not the intent, but, I'm glad to give you more material to sit and criticize me every other meeting.
Mayor, may I
So,
respond?
please.
Ma'am, I couldn't care less about you personally, one way or the
Well-
other. I don't like you, I don't dislike you.
That's-
Okay,
What I
not-
do dislike, and what I feel really resentful of, I voted for you, and I've come to regret my vote.
Well, I'm
You
sorry,
have- Excuse me, ma'am, but now
again-
you're interrupting
Wait,
me.
Karen, I'm taking your advice here.
Yes, sir.
I'm taking control. I don't want, it's not
That's
healthy
fine.
to get into a
I just want to,
negative thing.
my
I
comment
just
was
wanted to
general.
make it clear
I
that
don't-
that was
I don't
not
like being gestured
my-
at and all that jazz.
I understand.
I have high
Everyone.
standards for you. You are our elected representatives, each and every one of you. And when we have a chance to vote again, we will vote again. But in the meantime, I think that the board is accountable to the residents, and I think we owe it to you.
Okay.
And I don't believe I've been standing here every meeting talking about Mrs. Nickel. That's not really my
Okay.
intention.
I got you, and I hear you loud and
Thank you.
clear, and I appreciate the constructive things. Thank you.
Thank you.
Have a good evening.
I'd like to respond just briefly, and thank you for your comments. But my comment was in relation to you gave up false information stating that we hadn't properly gone through the process of creating the TIF, and we
Okay.
did. And that's all.
In fairness, no. Now I need to
Now-
rebut.
now we-
No, wait a second. No. I made a statement,
wait.
and now it's being.
3 seconds,
Okay,
please.
I'll take 10. I was present for a traffic committee issue. I was sent by the chair at the time, and that was the first time I had ever heard anything about a proposal for the Devon Avenue TIF, and I happened to be on the school board. Turned around, went back to the board. The board had no idea that discussion was taking place. A few weeks later, the village manager, who happened to be Tim Weiberg at the time, and the gentleman who was representing McKenna came and answered our questions. So to say anything different is absolutely
Okay.
not true.
Thank you. We appreciate both points of view. Closed session. We have a motion to move into closed session.
Motion to move to closed session.
No, state the purpose,
I have
please.
to state the purpose. Thank you. Closed session is requested for the semi-annual review of closed session minutes per section 2C21. Now, trustee Sugarman, motion to,
Motion to move to closed session.
thank you. Is there a second? Second. Seconded by trustee Patel.
Roll
All
call,
in favor?
roll call,
Oh,
roll
no,
call.
you need a roll
Roll
call
call.
for this one. Trustee Sugarman?
Aye.
Trustee Spino?
Okay.
Trustee Nickel?